Come to me. This ain't Trinity.
We live. Oh, okay.
You ain't play
I'm
the
like,
intro.
I did play the intro.
Uh,
You just couldn't hear it for some reason. I better make sure they can hear us.
Good morning, y'all.
Yeah, look like they can hear us. Look like we I think um dressed the same. Anyway,
Cause we have on the same shirt, Tommy.
good morning, Sharon. Welcome to another episode of the Love Brew podcast. I'm your host, Tommy T.
My name is Artika.
Artika over there whispering in the mic.
I'm not whispering, but whatever.
Yeah. So we have a lively week this past week. A lot of things happened. The 4th of July happened yesterday.
I
Car
don't
that's
celebrate
behind
that.
me. Huh?
I don't celebrate that.
You don't?
No.
It's what, the 250th? And the only reason I know that is because it was such a big thing like 3 weeks ago when Trump had his little parade for himself.
You know, I have not seen any footage or coverage
Cause
of
it was terrible.
No, because I choose
chose
to
not
not
to.
indulge
Yeah.
in the foolishness.
Now it's gonna be back up foolishness.
Did you cook out? Tommy did grill,
Yeah, of course.
but also
It's not the same though.
Tommy, it wasn't a celebration, one, but also Tommy is just a person who be like, it's Thursday, it's some chicken in there. I'm finna throw something on the grill. So I don't really consider it like 4th of
Nah, I
July.
tell you one thing though. I done got the I grilled some chicken and some ribs. Nothing major. There's some brats in there too. Uh man, I pulled that chicken up and that thing fell off the bone. I had to call your mama, man. I had to call your mom. I talked to your mama 30 minutes about grilling.
I can't take this away.
What's that?
It's a note GPT.
Oh,
Glenn told me about it, but now it won't go away.
I don't know. That's something new on my part.
It serves its purpose. It's just it puts the chat all the way down here.
Oh, I wonder, can you rearrange it? Where you going, man? Is
Bye.
something playing in
Yeah.
this room? Oh. All right.
It was not a celebration. I really wish that I could have the Juneteenth celebration that I've wanted to have for the last 2 years. This year we couldn't do it because we were out of town.
Yeah.
But we're gonna figure out next year because my plan is to be here.
Right. But no, man, it's I was just thinking about that too. Like the 4th of July celebrations aren't like they were when I was growing up. Cause man, I was thinking about my dad's friends. Like when my dad died, we was talking about like how we all used to get together, cook out, and they would pop fireworks and stuff. And I'm like, I ain't even big on fireworks anymore.
I wasn't big on them then.
I used to love fireworks.
We have had to. This is in my adult years.
Firecrackers.
Go hose down my cut D, her neighbor's house because my brothers, because both of my brothers were there, and cousins set these people's yard on fire.
Yeah. I remember you telling me about that.
I'm happy that the kids get to experience fireworks because of our neighbors.
Yeah.
We live basically in a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
And we're the last house before it starts curving. So the people that live in the curve are always popping fireworks.
Man.
This time they kind of did it in a different area.
Yeah.
But Lily just screamed, "Oh my God, they're popping fireworks! It's so beautiful." The way she says "beautiful" is hilarious to me.
Man, but the way she said say it horse, hearse
Hearse, look at that
was funny.
hearse.
Um, no man, it's I guess my adult brain
Hmm.
pops in and I be like, man, it's way too many trees.
I be
It's
thinking about the electrical lines more
I
than
be like,
trees.
is somebody shooting? Get down. All this other stuff, and I just don't. They're cool,
Hmm.
It's fun and stuff to see, but it's like it don't excite me like it used to.
Do you remember in Knoxville when they used to have Boomsday?
Yeah,
That was for Labor Day.
yeah.
Nobody does Labor Day fireworks around here that I know
No, not I
of.
know.
But Boomsday was like huge in
Bloomsday was the
Knoxville.
thing, and we didn't have to leave campus to see it.
No, we didn't. Well, everything catered to us
Hmm.
as students because UT employed a lot
That's why I used
of
to
the
take
city.
people like whoever was who I was talking to at the time. We go see Bloomsday, have a nice little time and everything like that. Anyway, that's neither here
Um,
nor there.
yeah, I'm not a firework person. It's also very different from how I grew up because they just sell fireworks in the stores here. Like you can just go walk in
Well,
Walmart.
that's how it was. Like it's not strange for me.
Yeah, in Memphis, we could not. We'd have to go
We
across the state line to
yeah.
Mississippi to buy, or
Now
Arkansas to
we
buy
could go. We
fireworks.
had to go drive up to Cleveland to
Hmm.
get fireworks, and then we drive back home and you know pop
I
one
mean,
at
it's
a time.
about the same distance,
Yeah,
depending on where you live in Memphis. But no, I'm saying like here, I could just go to Kroger
yeah.
and they got fireworks.
But man, it just not the same, and it's interesting to see now. How things pan out. Like I enjoy the grilling part because that's always the fun part for me. Um, and everything, but it's just once nighttime hit, I'm trying to watch me a movie and lay it on down because I'm tired at this point. But yeah, the
Oh,
Fourth of
I was
July was good.
exhausted yesterday. I was.
Yeah.
I'm still upset that Quad woke me up as early as he did this
What
morning.
time did you get up?
I don't know what time he came in there, but it wasn't time for my alarm to go off.
Oh.
And he was like, "I want to sleep with you." Well, lay down.
She
Hush.
ain't gonna say no, brother. Maybe.
Um,
Oh, Lily had her first baseball game.
she did.
What was your thoughts on that baseball game?
I get it that they're ages 3 to like 7.
Mm,
Um, so it's not really like competitive.
right.
But I definitely think that they should have had one practice, like true practice,
Yeah.
before the first game. Because their first practice was, all right, you on the blue team, you on the green team. Go over there to your coach. All right, we gonna catch the ball, we gonna hit the ball. Helmet, 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 helmet.
Well, the thing about it is they're designed to not have the practices like that. They're like having their practices one practice before the game, which I'd never understood. Like, why do they do it that way?
No,
But
I get that. That's how it's designed. I'm saying I don't like the design. Like I don't. If there had been one week where we just showed up to practice and then the next week started the game and they still had like a little practice beforehand, I'd be like, okay.
and see, that's the thing. I think it's more so designed for just not competitiveness, but just out here playing.
It is, but I also have a child who wants to be good at things.
Yeah.
And I don't I struggle with that because I was a child who wanted to be good at things, but in adulthood it's kind of like I still want to be good at things, but I only want to be good at things that I want to be good at, right? Because in childhood it was like school was what you had to be good at.
Hmm.
Then once I got beyond just like the school stuff, it turned into good morning D.
Good morning, D.
it turned into like music because like I played the violin. So it's like I wanted to be good at that. And then when I started joining like other organizations outside of like the school walls, you didn't have the pressure of needing to be good at something because being in an organization doesn't make you have to be good or bad. It
Yeah.
just means you have to be involved.
Yeah.
So then I got to the point where it was like the involvement should be enough. Like, how involved are you? But I struggle with that with Lily because I don't want her to not have a good time doing something because she's so invested in how well she's doing it. Because this is your first time ever doing it, you don't really need to be that invested in doing it well. But I also can't take that from her because it's your feelings.
Yeah.
Nobody's like pushing you where you have to be the best at this.
Mhm.
But that's her feelings. Meanwhile, her brother is just like, nah, I'm not doing it. Nah, I don't even want to be good at that.
Mhm.
Like, I don't want to talk about it and you can't make me. So it's just it is what it is on that. But um man, it was hot out there. I'm gonna miss her next game. Kind of sad about that, but
Are you?
what? Am I
You.
what?
I said you gonna miss it.
Yeah, I
For what?
told you that.
Oh. Move, man.
You don't listen to me, so that's why you're acting like this the first time you heard this news.
Oh.
Um, but yeah, I'm gonna miss our next game, so hopefully her daddy remembers to record so I can see it.
Um. As I'm being beat up here in the back.
Welcome.
No, I get what you're saying with the you want her to enjoy the game and everything like that. I just, I'm just like, man, if you want to play, man, you just gotta work at it.
Mhm. Yeah, you're making it a you need to be good at it situation.
It ain't good because you have more fun the better you are at it. Like
Mm.
I didn't enjoy running track until I started winning. Like in the sixth grade, I just did it because my daddy did it, and then seventh grade, I started winning.
I never even knew my mama ran track until you and her talked about it.
Yeah, I ain't need to.
I knew that my dad played basketball, but that was because one of the assistant principals when I got to school there was an assistant principal, or he was a teacher
Yeah.
when my dad was there. Like he was like a first year teacher, and when he found out that you know I was Artie's daughter,
Yeah.
cause he knew my dad,
Yeah.
he was like, "Let me show you in the yearbook your daddy and your uncle." So we went to the library and he literally showed me pictures, and I was like, "Dad, you play basketball?" He was like, "Yeah." But my daddy said like, "Don't do that no more." So ain't nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never had to like I never I mean I say had I never did anything because my parents or someone else did it. But I also always took like the excelling academically route to everything. I wasn't trying to be like a student athlete
Yeah.
or any of that other stuff. I was just like, I'm smart. That's
Yeah.
enough.
I took the same route, but I enjoy sports. I like competing is what I enjoy more than anything, and seeing that I could compete.
Competitive black people is why I don't play spades.
Yeah.
Cause I don't want to get yelled at in the name of fun.
I just feel like the skill set in space is completely different.
No, no, no. But you get what I mean. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to be
Yeah.
yelled at in the name of fun. And I felt like that's what a lot of organized sports was people yelling and cussing about things. And I'm like, you're not gonna yell at me just because you want me to win. That's not gonna motivate me to
Yeah.
win.
Nah, it's crazy because it was celebrated more in sports than people academic things,
Mhm.
and which I find that to be wildly insane. Um, that you make a distinction between those. What'd you see?
You will get dogged if you miss a Boston.
Oh, I don't know what a Boston is.
I don't play spades, so I mean I've heard the term. No.
D, that's hilarious that you say that because we do move it smoothly though. But a Boston is like ran the table.
I don't. Okay.
Yeah, it's like you get all the
Like I
books.
understand the concept of spades. I have played spades like on a computer. You know how people play free sale,
Yeah,
stuff like that. I play spades on a computer. I know how to play the game of spades,
yeah.
but you just not finna yell at me.
But that's the thing about like competition and stuff. It's space is different because we all know this. You know, people slam the cars, people talk about you, people do
My
this,
mama
people do
is
that.
one of them ones that put the card on her forehead.
That's hilarious.
Her and my granddaddy. That was their love language.
Yeah. My grandmama could play spades really well, but like it was like I would just watch. I never really liked to play.
Granny cat.
No, the Lara. But I never really liked to play
It's
because
funny.
of that.
I still call her granny cat.
Yeah.
It's it all started with that Tomcat tag.
Oh yeah.
Cause Tomcat.
Yeah. Right.
And I was like, well, when you by yourself, you granny cat, like an alley cat, but a granny. And she thought that was hilarious.
She was funny. Um, but yeah, man. So Lily playing baseball was pretty cool. You could tell she was bored out there because it wasn't enough action for her. But when she took off with the bat, I just started laughing. I was like, "You gotta drop the bat." Granny Cat. I love Granny
Yeah,
Cat too.
his grandmother's name was Catherine, and so she used to have a temporary tag because his grandfather stopped quad because his grandfather's name was also Tommy. So
Yeah.
they're not temporary tag, a custom tag for one of their old schools,
Yeah.
and he said Tomcat, and so I just started calling her Granny Cat.
Yeah. Get down, boy. Get down.
If Quad would have been a girl, I would have tried to incorporate that name into
Oh yeah.
his. Um, I've always wanted to name my kids after. Go take a bath. Go take a bath. So we can go. I always wanted to name my kids after people, and I succeeded because Lily's named
You
after
did
my
fine.
grandmother, and me, Quad is just a line of Tommies. I don't
Yeah.
know. Go find him.
Oh, what are you looking for?
He said, "Where's my shoes?"
Oh,
And then he pointed down and
I
said,
put them
"Where's
right
my
there.
shoes?"
I put them right there. But yeah, man. So what was we talking about? Oh, my alumni picnic. Had a good time. It was hot outside. So it's 90 something degrees. This is the thing that sticks out to me the most. And I'm like, kids are weird today.
Mhm.
It's 90 something degrees. And this kid don't know who he is outside in a hoodie, like the long sleeve. I seen somebody outside in a hoodie with the short sleeves. He just had the hood on. It was a dude outside in a hoodie with long sleeves on, and I'm like, it's 90 degrees. Aren't you hot? And pants.
Mhm.
I'm sitting up there. I'm like, good God. So we just walking around. I'm like, man, this dude making me hot. So I
I
drunk
saw
some
a
water.
guy yesterday when I was on my way back home, um, who was riding down the street by the high school
Yeah,
on a bike, and he had on a hoodie. He had stopped to have a conversation with a guy, and like as I passed him, I looked at his face. He was drenched in sweat,
yeah,
and I was like, "Take it off." It's 95 degrees outside, literally right now. Take it off.
right. Take something off. Shoot.
The hoodie.
He's
Go find your
on
hat.
his hat.
I don't know why we're putting all these things on because
know.
he also needs to take a bath and change clothes.
Um, but yeah, man. So, but the alumni picnic was cool, man. I just love the concept of it.
Mm-hmm.
We had some people complain about it. Like the biggest complaint was we couldn't have grills and stuff out there, which I understand why. But they
Fire
got
hazard.
no. It was like people put their grill out,
Mm-hmm.
and then instead of letting the charcoal cool and then disposing of the charcoal correctly, they would just pour it out in the yard right there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's destroying
The
the
grass.
grass in front of the school. Good morning, cousin.
Good morning, cousin.
But yeah, so this year we couldn't have grills, and they had moved it to the other side. So you remember it used to be in front of the gym.
Hmm.
They moved it in front of the classrooms. Um, I'm a I vlogged a lot of it, so
I didn't know you took the camera.
yeah, I took the camera with me. So we're doing this thing called just gonna vlog once a month, like just our whole month. My high school. Um, we're gonna vlog like for the month, so it'll be on there.
Okay.
Um, what else happened this past week? Lily,
Quad cut his hand
Quad,
3 times in one day.
no, at one time.
No, it was twice at one time, and then remember he went back and
uh,
cut his finger
yeah,
again.
uh, yeah,
Cause the last one was a deep paper cut.
yeah. That's what all of those was like. They were like a paper cut. But boy, you couldn't tell him anything.
He told me he needed me to put his hand in the water because it was hot.
But he was straight yesterday.
Yeah, I know. Once I
I
gave him the
figured.
Motrin and he calmed down.
Yeah, he was cool. He needed a haircut too.
He does.
But yeah,
Include Lily's game. I did film some of her. I filmed her up to bat, and I think I may have filmed a little bit of her in the outfield.
yeah, I got a picture of her, but I hadn't looked at it. But it was so cute and funny, man. Stop, man. Stop.
Oh, okay. We're back.
God, play too much, man.
I'm trying to think of what else we did this week. I didn't really do anything this week. I had to have a come to Jesus with 2 of my coworkers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They was complaining about something at work, and I was like, y'all do realize that we still gonna get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let this stuff stress you out.
All right.
Quiet, that's right in the
Question for
microphone.
you. Question for you. What's something black folks don't talk about enough, but absolutely should?
Family history.
That's a good one. I wasn't thinking that, but yeah.
And I say family history, one, because I feel like we always expect for one person to know everything.
Yeah.
Because there's always one person in a family that takes on the role of historian.
Mm-hmm.
And then when that person dies, the family history dies with them.
Yeah.
But also
Life
there's
insurance.
the other family history of
the one that you want to keep in the closet.
You need to know who to watch.
Right.
We don't need to be saying watch him when he at your house. You need to be like, don't let that nigga in.
Right. Right.
Like, if you know that this cousin steal, why are we just letting him in the house and then be like, watch him? Don't let him in.
Right.
Quiet.
Because Deshauna said family history and life insurance. Life insurance is a big one.
What was the question?
What is something black folks don't talk about enough, but absolutely should?
Yes. Okay, I definitely agree on the life insurance thing. We actually had a sit-down family discussion with 2 of Tommy's uncles.
Yeah.
2 weekends ago about life insurance. And that's something that I will say my mom has been a big advocate for as of lately as well. And I know my mom's stance on it has been a lot different than other people's stances on it. Okay, get down. My mom's stance has been different on it because my mom has lost 2 siblings in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
One of which did not have a wife or kids. So my mom did all of the planning. Thankfully, he had enough in an insurance policy to handle all of the funeral arrangements. But since losing my uncle, my aunt, and Tommy's dad, it's definitely been a conversation. My mom talked to my brother about life insurance, and she was like, don't even think about it. Don't make me the beneficiary and put your sister on there. And I was like, why me? She was like, I'm going to die before y'all. He need to put you on there. She was like, and if he dies first, you can still handle the stuff.
Who said that?
My mama.
Oh.
To my brother.
Yeah.
Then me talking to my dad about his life insurance, I was like, you need to have everything written out because his kids are not the beneficiaries. And I
Mm.
was like, I'm not trying to take your money, obviously.
Right.
But I was like, I don't even need it to be me, but I need you to communicate with the person who is the beneficiary what the rules are
Yeah.
because we got to know the rules. Because he was
Yeah.
telling me what he wanted his arrangements to be. And I was talking to him about your dad and the planning for that. And he was like, "Yeah, I want to be cremated." And I was like, "Well, that's a conversation that you need to have with the person that's over your arrangements because she don't want to cremate you.
Yeah.
So you need to let her know
All right. Go
that you
fix.
want to be cremated."
Go fix it in your room, man.
So,
Go fix your bed, man.
life insurance, and to take that a step further, what you want your arrangements to be. That's something you and I haven't discussed.
And them feet, man.
But that's something you and I haven't discussed is the arrangements after.
Yeah.
Like we got the life insurance, but what do you do
Hmm.
when the person is gone?
I just want y'all to know to have a party because I like parties, and you gotta play Laffy Taffy.
Well, I know
Uh,
your daughter's gonna automatically bring the mood up and down
yeah, yeah,
because she gonna cry and then she gonna be like, "Dad did like this,"
yeah. Right.
cause cause she does stuff like that, and she's not doing it to be funny, but that's what she equates death
Yeah.
as. It's just they laying
You
there and
know
they not
something
moving.
like y'all got real serious about that question. I was being very silly with that question because I
Okay,
thought
what was
about
your
it.
answer?
My answer was that like uh we have to realize that the good people in our family are good people, but they do bad things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was thinking about, I have a cousin who I appreciate her tenfold because that's how I used to get my school clothes.
Mm-hmm.
She stole all them school clothes. She stole every piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I love her to death because she would do that and then would tell it to us. But that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at it now,
Oh my gosh. I used to work at this mall in Memphis that's actually about to get torn down.
she need.
Where you go, Gary Time? I used to work at this mall in Memphis that's about to get torn down. But I worked at a jewelry store right at one of the entrances. And just around the corner from us was Children's Place. And we were always watching people steal clothes out of Children's Place. Like they stealing garbage bags worth of clothes. And I'm like, how do y'all let them fill up a trash bag in the store? Like I've gone to a store and balled out on kids' clothes before. Like I'm buying everything you need for this season today. I've saved my money and this is what I'm going to do. But I have never been like, oh, let me put all these clothes in a trash bag. I don't shop at Children's Place, but my kids wear Children's Place clothes. And they don't give it like a cart to push. They have like a little mesh basket, I think. But if you gonna fill up that mesh basket with stuff, you just fill up that mesh basket and you keep it moving. But people be in there filling up trash bags worth of stuff and then be like, I'm not stealing. Yes, you are. You haven't stolen yet, but your intention is to steal.
Yeah. Or another one is I was trying to figure out what that
I heard it.
beeping noise was.
It's probably her TV.
Another one is bringing up space again. It's not that serious.
And that's why I don't play.
uh,
Like, I've been cussed at over Uno.
yeah, I ain't never got cussed
And
at.
I be like, y'all need to get it together.
I ain't never got cussed out. On Uno.
Well, the mall that I worked at was a mall. Well, I don't even want to say the mall because it's a mall thing where they don't like they don't allow the associates to stop you from stealing. They just have to make it known that they see you and that they peeping game. They can call mall security if there's a police officer in the mall, which usually on the weekends there are police at the mall,
Yeah.
police can get dispatched to stop the theft in progress.
Yeah.
But um,
Put it down.
it used to be a lot. We would just
Go
see
put it down.
people making a mad dash to the car. And this mall, it's funny because it's like when they said they were gonna demo the mall, all the RIP to the mall posts was talking about how heavy the doors are.
Yeah.
This mall has super heavy
Oh
doors.
yeah.
And it's like, how you making a mad dash and you get caught up by the doors of the mall because them doors are so big and heavy. You already dragging a big trash
Yeah.
bag full of clothes behind you.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, you look like a theft. Like a theft in progress.
You look like a theft. That's funny, man.
Something. Oh no, I'd be out here wrecking relationships and families.
Man, because the game has gotten twisted. You always got to go with house rules.
Oh, did you see that there's a new Uno?
No.
Uno teams?
No.
So I gotta get it because we be playing games with my mom and my brother during the holidays, and since we'll be with them on a cruise, I'm gonna get us together one night maybe to watch the movie.
Stop, man.
And be like, let's play Uno.
Yeah.
On teams.
Uno always you gotta go with the house rules. But it's like everybody calls them something different. You know, like trains. Trains was a thing that like I didn't learn until I got with you.
Oh, it was college for me.
Yeah.
We used to play Uno in the basement of Clement, and we would do trains, triples, doubles.
Yeah. Where you can stack all this stuff. And Uno is like, it's not designed to play that way.
No, I take that back. It wasn't college. It was high school because we used to play in the cafeteria.
Yeah. Uno, like, it's like the ultimate, the Spades Junior is Uno. No, but what did he just do?
He just threw one of the ball pit balls that I thought I threw all the ball pit balls in the trash.
Right. The house rules are never how you used to play, how you usually play, unless it's family members that play together all the time. But let a new person come in, new player 2 come in, and it be like house rules. This is how we play. Somebody's gonna be like, we don't play it like that, you know. But it's all in fun and games. I don't think. That's one thing that black folks need to talk about that we don't talk about enough is actually hanging out with each other instead of just seeing each other at the reunion and expecting everybody. Anyway, I ain't even going to talk about that.
No, it's not even a reunion. What it is when somebody died. Man, we need to stop just seeing each other at funerals. You live around the corner. You never come over
Right.
here.
It's what we don't talk about is things being a two-way street. Because somebody thinks that they're a elder or older person in the family, doesn't mean that the younger person has to be that thing. You know, I have to reach out. I have to do this. I have to do that just because you're older. No, it goes both ways.
Yeah.
You know.
I will say that's one thing that I do appreciate about us as a family unit, both sides of our families that live here. We have gotten to the point, it's harder now because we all have kind of branched out.
Yeah.
But as a family unit, we at least see and talk to each other. Like we know what's actively going on in each other's lives.
Yeah.
Even if we can't do the see each other once a week thing, which was a lot easier when we lived home.
Yeah.
And I say that because Chattanooga and Memphis are both a lot smaller than Atlanta. And then none of us live in Atlanta. Like everybody lives in the suburbs.
Right.
And so like my cousin that I grew up seeing probably once a month at our grandmother's house.
Yeah. Tell him to stop.
Stop quiet. It goes over here.
Um,
My cousin I grew up seeing maybe once a month at my grandmother's house. Now it takes me 50 minutes to see her, whereas my grandmother's house was 12 minutes from my house growing up. So it didn't take a lot of effort to see her.
Stop, boy.
Okay. Who got time? You raising your kids. I got chores on the weekends. You got kids, etc. Yeah, and then for me, all of my cousins here have small kids except for one. Hubert is the only one that doesn't have a small child. But like our kids are stair step.
Yeah.
Like about to be 1, about to be 3, about to be 3, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
They busy.
right. That's so funny, man. Something else I wanted to bring to your attention. I saw it this morning, and I'm not gonna look at it. I'm just gonna paraphrase it to get to the point.
Mhm.
So, um, Kev on stage did this short asking about the confirmation of dates. So a guy confirmed on a Sunday, hey, we're gonna go out Tuesday 7:30. The girl said, okay, cool, we're gonna do that. Boo, boo, boo. Tuesday comes 7:20. He say, I'm running a little behind, you know, um, but I'm on my way. The girl responds and says, oh, we're still doing that. You was supposed to confirm the day of. You never confirmed
If
anything.
you can say to me Tuesday, not like Tuesday the 3rd
No, we talking
or
about Sunday, Monday,
no,
then
that's what I'm
Tuesday. Yeah,
saying. If you can tell me Tuesday, as in the next 7 days or 6 days, Tuesday the 3rd, Tuesday the 9th, Tuesday the 18th, whatever it is,
yeah,
if you can tell me Tuesday and it's that close,
yeah,
I don't feel the need to confirm again unless there's something about the details of us going that are fuzzy.
yeah,
Like, are we riding in the same car? Do you want me to meet you at your house? Is there a planned meetup place?
yeah,
Um, Something big happened in your life, and I don't know if you still coming or not
yeah,
because maybe it slips your mind because
yeah,
something big and drastic happened. Whatever it may be. But if it's just Sunday and then nothing has happened Monday, nothing has happened Tuesday, I'ma just be like, all right, that I'ma be 15 minutes late thing, I would be like, all right.
He,
I'm also running about 15
he
minutes
said
late.
we set it up.
Yeah. Like we also like I'm you might need to give me the reminder text that we did say today,
Yeah,
but it's not a confirmation.
yeah,
Yo, I'm running late. I'm like, me
right.
too.
I forgot all about it. Now,
I'm still coming though.
now the thing that I thought about was, and this is before like we got married and and I started dating and stuff. It's always a thing of for me to I don't want to waste my time,
Mhm.
So I figure out a way. I don't say, hey, we're still on for such and such, but I'm like putting a like say something like, hey, it's gonna be raining. Do you have any you got an umbrella? Cause I can bring one
Mhm.
or something like that, just to say I'm still coming. But in my mind, it's not a confirmation. It's just a
It's a reminder.
yeah, like hey, this is what
We
we doing.
confirmed. I am now on the set your reminder in your phone thing.
Yeah,
And for me, because I forget things so much, if I'm going to take for example, me and my cousins were supposed to go out to eat at the end of May. We all put it on our calendar and
yeah,
we all got a notification 2 hours before we were supposed to come
yeah.
to remind us
That you supposed to
that
go.
we're supposed to be going
Yeah,
because it was four of us going. Three out of four of us have small kids.
yeah,
We need a reminder.
yeah.
And then we were all coming into the city
Mm-hmm.
from, I think the person who had the shortest distance was like 15 minutes away.
Yeah,
And then the person who had the longest distance was like 45 minutes
yeah,
away. So we needed that 2 hour reminder, but we all got the 2 hour reminder. We all laughed about it because we had all
yeah.
canceled already. But we didn't cancel day of.
Yeah.
We just all had the reminder, and that I won't say it forced us, but it reminded us like, hey, we were supposed to be doing something today.
But it's crazy because in my mind the reminders and I'm thinking back before I was married, before me and you started dating or anything like that. It's just like I guess it was like a part confirmation, but it wasn't so blatant. Hey, we're still going out on. It was just kind of like a subtle. Hey, this is what
Don't
the
forget
plan
about
was.
me.
Yeah, type of thing because I don't want to waste my time in trying to be prepared for it and because again, from a man's point of view, it's either one or two things can go. I'm either get lucky tonight or I'm gonna have to go on a second date. You know, but that's the game of
And see, I
chase.
wasn't thinking about that from like the dating standpoint. I was thinking about it just from the meet up period
No,
standpoint.
it's I'm talking about like in this context of things, right?
Mhm.
It's not I'm going out with a friend and stuff like that because with a friend or with a person that I know, I don't necessarily have to do that.
Mhm.
But first date, second date, right?
Mhm.
I'm a just confirm because we probably been talking on the phone, or going back to like in this time, probably just texting each other back and forth,
Mhm.
messaging each other back and forth, and it's like, okay, we're gonna meet up. I just want to make sure that this is still what we're gonna do, even though 2 days ago we said, hey, this is what we're gonna do,
Mhm.
type of thing. But that's me. But I don't think it's necessarily a thing that you have to do because in trying to meet somebody or in trying to first deal with somebody, if you can't confirm with a person 2 days before plans that y'all made, or not confirm, but 2 days before you confirm with this person, then 2 days later this person can't remember, this person ain't for you. Because you're not important enough for a person to remember you for 2 days.
Right.
And y'all probably talk within them 2 days. So that's why I don't think it's like it should go there. But, it's different for people.
As Deshauna said, people overcomplicate things. I
Oh,
ain't
for
gonna say
sure.
sometimes, a lot of the
Yeah.
times.
A lot of times they do. But anyway. Um, what else? We don't got much left.
I didn't even know you put stuff in there.
Yeah. What is this about enough but absolutely should? I don't know. Oh, anyway.
Did you read it?
No. Confirmation day. So you want to talk about Diddy or do you want to talk about the dad exchange?
I don't care.
All right, so I'm gonna talk about the dad exchange, and then we're gonna get finish up with Diddy, and we're gonna get on out of here.
Okay.
Looks nice. You got some. You gonna put some socks on or some sandals? Put some socks and shoes on. You brush your teeth. Brush your teeth and wash your face. That's funny, man. Have you ever forgot to brush your teeth and went to school?
Mm-mm.
I did that a couple times in elementary school. I was like, dog, I forgot to brush my teeth. And then so I would go to breakfast and get one of the juices and try to just drink the juice to hide the breath stink. And
And now, he's taking off his shoes. Now, as is when I got to high school, I realized that coffee breath was a thing.
yeah,
And I had a teacher who always wanted to be close to you to help you with your math,
yeah,
and he had coffee breath.
yeah.
And I would be like, bro, get away from me. I don't need any help anymore.
I finna say, you drank coffee in high school?
You know, it was his breath.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that I like coffee until like in the last 2 years, like
Yeah,
the taste of it.
yeah,
Which is I'll never buy decaf coffee because I'm just like, what's the point?
yeah,
But some days I just sit at my desk and be like, a coffee would be good.
yeah. It's
So
crazy how we went from Love Brew or went from Coffee Break to Love Brew.
that was all me,
That was
Brandon.
you, Brandon. All right, Brandon. Speaking of the Dad Exchange, as you see, we got our T-shirts on.
Tommy made these shirts,
I
y'all.
made these shirts. Came up with the design. Me and Monday.
Mhm.
Well, no, Monday didn't help me with this. Me and Fiverr
Mhm.
and the girl that helped me out with this came up with the co-pilot.
Somebody,
Me and the AI
an artificial intelligence helped you.
helped me out. Came up with the logo, but the concept of the idea, the Dad Exchange, is a
God is so
podcast about.
distracting.
Yeah, he is. It's a podcast about dads exchanging stories and their perspectives on fatherhood, manhood, just their life thing. Um, I have fun talking to dads about just life in general.
Mhm.
One of the things is that I don't feel like they are asked certain questions in a life expectancy thing, and then also when it comes to moms versus dad, we're like secondary, which that's the way I feel about it. in some instances. But
You know why?
why?
Because dads take a back seat.
But I feel like dads have to in certain points
They don't.
because I think about when they were babies and you wouldn't pump for whatever reason. You know, you have your reasons of not pumping, but I essentially couldn't do anything for them.
But there's also a lot of people who did not
I'm
breastfeed.
I'm just talking about my
I'm
experience.
talking about dads in general because that's where you started.
Yeah, but
You
then I
started.
then I
You
went
nope. You
specific to
started
my.
there.
I started
You
there,
started there.
but
So we're gonna stay there.
okay. Cause see,
Because we're talking about
go
dads.
ahead,
We were
go
talking about
ahead.
dads in general.
We ain't finna argue in front of our company.
I'm not arguing. We're talking about dads in a general
Right,
sense.
go ahead.
And in a general sense, like that's been one big criticism. And I haven't watched the show, but like this Nelly and Ashanti show,
Yeah,
Nelly is like, I'm not changing no diapers.
yeah.
A mom would never have the opportunity to say that.
You wash your face. Go wash your face.
Deshauna said we ain't company.
Huh? What you say?
It ain't nobody arguing. But it's definitely a sense of you don't
Go put some salt.
as a decent parent. I don't even want to say good parent. As a decent parent, there's a long list of things that you don't get to say you're not gonna do. You're not gonna say you're not gonna feed the kid. You can't not give the kid a bath. You can't not change diapers. Not feed them. You know all those things.
I'm laughing at we ain't company. We
Ain't
love
I?
y'all too. No, you're absolutely right. And today's society of dads, it's there's more involvement with dad,
Mhm.
right? But I've always had the concept or the thought process of dads take a back seat because they choose to, but they're also not thought about until something goes wrong or something is like not provided for.
It's funny because I was talking to my mom about a dad that we all know. And the question to this dad was about clothing sizes.
Yeah,
And he was like, I'm gonna have to get back with
yeah,
you. And I was like, I don't know any moms that can say
yeah.
that. Like, it ain't no get back with you. I
Right,
can
right,
tell you
right.
what sizes my kids wear.
Right.
Now, I remember talking to my
What's up, High
mom
Vibe?
this like going into spring this year.
Yeah,
She had asked me a question about our kid sizes, and I was like, Lily's in between sizes. So if you're looking for stuff, like sometimes my mom just shops for Lily
Yeah.
and doesn't like find the stuff online and mail it to the house.
yeah,
She will go into stores that she knows she's gonna see us. And I was like, she's in between sizes, so I would lean towards this size rather than this size.
yeah,
Now shoes, I'm always lost on quad.
yeah,
I always have to go check his shoe size because I can't remember it.
yeah,
But it's one of those things that I don't get the luxury to not know.
yeah,
Like, I even think about like, and this is I don't want to end on something morbid, but it always sounds morbid when I say it. But I always think about me not being here and all of the things that you're gonna have to figure out
yeah,
if I'm not here, because you've never seen Lily's ENT. Well, I take it back. You've seen her one time, and that was after she did Lily's ear surgery. You don't know her ideologist at all, and you would be like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know who to go see.
But that's the thing. Is like I would figure all that stuff out, and I don't mind that. But it's like more so with what the dad exchange is about is those stories from dad's perspective. Like not knowing these things. Well, how do you figure that out? You know,
Yeah.
just learning how to be a better dad through a community of dads. You know, and man, if you haven't checked it out, we got 2 episodes out now on the August Love Story channel. So check those 2 episodes out. They're good friends of mine. These first few episodes are all friends of mine. So check those out. We got another one coming Wednesday. It's a treat.
Do you know
I think
who it is?
it's with Jack. Not Jack, but Glenn.
Okay.
I was finna say Jack and Glenn, but it's with
just
Glenn. And me and him talked about his experience in becoming a dad and The things that he has to, overcome in his thought processes. And the coolest thing about it is all the stories are different. All
Mhm.
the perspectives are different.
Yeah.
You have some similarities and everything, but the outcomes are different. The situations are different. Like the one with Greg,
Mhm.
Greg almost put me like made me cry
Mhm.
because he had to go through an experience with his newborn having open heart surgery
Mhm.
and having to be strong about it for so his wife wouldn't break down because she was that's her baby. She just had this baby and finding out he got to have open heart surgery, and
Mhm.
so he going through the same hurt she going through, but he has to be strong about it.
Mhm.
He can't openly show his feelings. So that's
I,
one of the
I
big
think that's
things.
one of those things that we're
What's
gonna
up?
have to get dads to also realize it's not necessarily a
Look in
thing.
the den.
Um, Showing your feelings is okay.
But it's not a thing that we grew up
It doesn't
understanding.
matter.
You know,
It's something that you have to unlearn.
right? And it's a process to it. Appreciate it, high vibe. But speaking of a dad, um, let's talk about this Diddler case and get on out of here.
No. Yeah.
What all? So Diddy case is
Mm.
over.
Mhm.
He was found. He got what I call it, consolation prize. That's what I felt like this whole thing
I
was. He got
I'm
found
very
not guilty
interested
for.
in how they said that they couldn't reach a decision on Rico on one day, and then they ended up reaching a decision because they said that there was people on each side
Yeah,
that was not moving their moral compass.
yeah.
And hey, hey, can y'all move? No. Um, get down. Please go.
No, I don't want you
um,
right here, man.
Jesus, I forgot what I was about to
You was saying something about
say.
not being able to find the Rico.
Oh, so like there was people on both sides that was like, I'm not changing my moral grounds
You
to
good,
say
friend?
he should
You
have or
looking
he
at?
shouldn't have. Like people were
Who's down
arguing
there,
both
man?
sides that they felt very strongly
Look in your room.
on each side. But they did
Go ahead,
reach
please.
the trafficking and transportation of a
Look in your room.
worker um charges
Yeah,
easily. So what ended up happening was he was found guilty of the two counts of transportation of a good time worker.
yeah. Consolation prize.
Both of those carry a maximum sentence of 10 years, so up to 20 years each. His attorneys wanted him to be able to walk out of the courtroom that day. The judge was like, "Nah, dog, you gonna get some jail time."
He's still a threat to society.
hmm So he doesn't get sentenced until October. I think he went to jail in November.
Yeah. Bless
Thank you. So at the point of that, he'll have just about 11 months of
you. Yeah,
serve time. Um, some people are going to be in big trouble when and if he gets out.
yeah,
The thing with that is, um, based on all of the drug use that was going on, we at least know that jail should be a sort of rehab for him. Um, I hope he gets 10 years for each guilty, and I hope he has to serve them consecutively. Yes, agreed. Um, Diddy is like 55 now. So if he got the max of 20 years, he would be 75 by the
yeah,
time he got out. Um, there's also another lawsuit that was filed against him and one of his sons that also apparently was an abuse and trafficking allegation again. And apparently there's a lot of that going around because this T.I. and Tiny and King thing is, well, King
yeah,
just got added, but that's resurfacing too.
yeah.
It's just a lot, and I always wonder if convictions of people will change the way that things are done.
Mm-hmm.
But then when things like this happen, I'm like, will it?
Yeah. Like I think with the whole Diddy thing, it's like the was it prosecutors?
Mm-hmm.
They was reaching. I said it from the jump. He was gonna. He. I feel like even though he was found guilty of the trafficking thing,
Mm-hmm.
cross state lines
Well,
thing,
the the crazy part of not trafficking, it was transportation. The
transportation thing.
crazy thing about that is that was in his attorney's closing arguments. So
But
what? He likes a good time.
I'm just saying, like it felt like they was reaching when they was like Rico and sex trafficking and stuff like that. I was like, man, just really look at what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Domestic violence.
We
Um,
watched it. Like it's
right,
not an alleged thing. We
right. We
watched it.
watched that. Fear. I don't. You can't put fear in people to make people do things.
Mm-hmm.
But saying that this was a ring of things and he's consistently. I'm like, nah.
It was hard because he had no co-conspirators,
Right.
which it makes me wonder. What was
His co-conspirator was on the witness stand.
no, because KK would have been
I'm
considered.
talking about Cassie,
Yeah,
but
but I'm
Cassie
saying
was a victim too.
right. Well, I'm saying like the criminal
Yeah,
enterprise. Everything kept going back to KK,
yeah.
and so for it to go back to KK, and then the assistants and everything, they're like we were just doing our job.
Yeah.
But I think that it's one of those things where a Rico, there was definitely a lot of parts of this case that strongly fell under Rico, but it just
A Rico
was an issue.
in a
It
Rico
it
case.
was an issue with it being a criminal enterprise because there were not co-conspirators.
In a Rico case, I feel like one person shouldn't just be going to on trial.
Mhm.
Like there should be a multiple of people, and there's a head, and there's just pawns in this thing.
Mhm.
Um, the sad thing about it is you could see that this case wasn't as big or what it thought we was gonna get.
Mhm.
Um, and I feel like they were reaching from the jump. The we got a consolation prize. They all right, cool.
Mhm.
You got them for something. That's the way I feel like happened in this whole case.
Mhm.
Um, and in Diddy's book, it's a win, regardless of if he gets the max or not. It's a win,
Mhm. Because
you
he
know,
could have gotten life.
because he could have gotten
But
life. Yeah.
honestly and truly, when you're 55 and you're facing 20 years, that's life.
How bad does this damage his career?
Oh, it definitely will make people not want to work with him. And he's not going to have the intimidation factor
Yeah.
that he had because um threatening people that you'll expose them like he did Cassie and I think like he did Jane will become a thing. Um but there's also people that just want to go back home and live their regular existence
Yeah.
and not worry about this anymore
Nah, for
because
sure.
I just don't want to.
I'm in agreement with you. In agreement with cousin over there.
Mhm.
Just because I didn't know
And
this.
she said, I hope the states are gearing up to bring their own charges. There'll be lesser charges, but this man is a menace and needs to be off the streets. And she said, I'm side eyeing anyone who works with him after this. Well, one person that's going to still be working with him
Who?
Stevie J.
Yeah. Because he trying. I don't know, man. It's. I just feel like it was so much stuff, more stuff that you could have prosecuted him on.
Mhm.
Um, I don't like to talk about people going to jail or being in jail and stuff like that. But people have to be punished for their things, and what we saw was a man basically controlling people into doing the exact thing that he wanted to do by invoking fear,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for their livelihood, for their life, you know, for the lifestyle that they worked hard to get. And it's like you can't do people like that.
Yeah.
And you have to be punished for that. And then for like the freak offs and all this stuff, like, bro, like, come on, man.
He won't lose his assets, I believe. No,
Nah,
I don't think he'll lose his assets, but it's definitely a situation where you're gonna have a harder time bringing money in at the level
I
that
think
you was
I
bringing
think it
money in.
affects it goes a lot deeper as far as like even affecting his kids
Mm-hmm.
and the decisions that they make in the future. Like, cause none of them, I don't think none of them could work in the music industry.
One of them just put out a song with
Yeah,
Kanye.
I thought that was dumb.
First off,
I thought that was
everything
the
about his timing in music
yeah.
has been off.
I thought that was the
Cause
dumbest
I
thing in the
want to
world.
say he put out a song right when everything was happening with the feds, like when they arrested, when everything started coming out.
Yeah.
He's like, new music. No,
No,
baby,
this is the wrong time for you to put
shut
music out.
up.
This is what you need to be doing is in the studio. If you want to be taken serious as an artist, be in the studio and disassociate yourself musically with your daddy.
You can't because he's taking on his dad's whole persona.
Right, right, right.
He danced in the videos like his daddy.
But the issue with that because I look at Damani
Uh-huh.
and what's Ti's oldest son
Messiah.
Messiah. Bless you.
Thank you.
Both of them.
You
Damani
think I didn't
stands
take
on
allergy medicine yesterday?
Damani stands on his own when it comes to like rapping because I'm like this dude is good. You know he don't have the big support like his daddy supports him,
Mm-hmm.
but he like if you didn't know who Damani was,
He's not taking him under his wing like he did like Dro.
right? Like Damani runs in his own little
And
circle.
speaking of Dro, I have just been enjoying him on TikTok.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Like he's been doing like the Cadillac rides through the
yeah,
city. He did a front porch concert.
yeah. I seen that.
Like all this stuff has been on TikTok. And I just be like, look at Dro. I'm happy you sober.
Yeah. And then what's his oldest son again? Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
Messiah is a rock star, basically looking like he's 43
Yeah, I was like, Messiah,
from the
baby,
70s.
baby, what is we doing?
uh, but he's a music producer,
Mm-hmm.
and again, you wouldn't know that Ti is his dad unless you knew them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that type of disassociation, you know, and it's hard for I don't know, is it
Mm-hmm.
King Combs? It's hard for him.
Justin, not Justin,
That's a
Christian.
Christian, okay. But his rap name, what is
His
his
rap name is King Combs.
Okay. So him, like you have to separate. You have to first off, you gotta let this trial go by. Sorry, your dad messed it up for any type of career.
You
move
just
you
need
do.
to hang it up until 2026 at the earliest.
Right, or at least after
Because this is all we're gonna push back to this trial again in October. Because
Yeah.
sentencing is in October.
yeah,
So hang it up. Figure it out.
he just it's like his dad or Diddy has messed it up for his kids in the music industry, especially right now. And then they have to be strategic about the careers that they choose because I think he have twins that's coming up
They
in
just got out of high school.
yeah. So
And
it's
then there's a, for lack of better words, a ghetto triplet
yeah,
that also graduated from high
yeah.
school.
So it's like you think about that part because it's gonna be hard for them to continue to make money off the name of Diddy. Just because that's where I think it hurts him financially is
Mm-hmm.
that nobody's gonna want to work with him. He sold Ciroc, his share in Ciroc. He sold.
I think he was forced to sell it. I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that.
He didn't. He not a part of it anymore. I think nobody's buying Sean John.
He had to step away from Revolt.
Right. So it's like where are you making your money from? Even though you have a lot, you know now, but it's like it has to continue to make money. So, how do you generate new money in with your old money? So, but
You gotta find stuff to quietly invest in.
he definitely got a slap on the wrist in my eyes. He got the consolation prize of these two charges. We'll see in October what they actually sentence him with, and we'll move on from that.
Mm-hmm.
I hope the victims and the whole thing gets peace with everything, and we can take care of that. But that's gonna do it for today. I think. You
Yep.
got anything else?
Mm-mm. I need to stop sneezing, so I got to figure that out.
Yeah. So it's Saturday, guys. We got what we got coming up. I'm gonna edit the vlog from June,
Mm-hmm.
so we'll have that coming up some point in time in the next 2 weeks. Um, the Dad Exchange podcast gonna new episode this Wednesday with Glenn from
Mm-hmm.
Jack and Glenn. So that's a big one to check out. Um, also it was something else. Oh, nah, that's all I got. It was something else I was working on. Anyway, whatever it is, it's Saturday, guys. The fourth was yesterday. Go enjoy
You say that
outside.
like it meant something.
Yeah, it did mean.
The
Go
fourth was
outside,
yesterday, and today
enjoy
is the
some
fifth.
barbecue. Uh,
Look at you, cousin. Send
What's
me a
that?
picture. What'd
What's
you
it?
get? I actually have to go send I gotta take Tommy's cousin a Monstera propagation. I have a
You need to go out
I
there
can't
too,
remember what
man.
it's
We
called.
got a bunch of tomatoes.
It's a they call it like a Swiss cheese Monstera. I had a long end on it and I took it off and propagated it almost a year ago. And I keep telling her I'm gonna bring it over there. And the last two times we went, I forgot. So I need to make plans to go do that.
Yeah, but with
But I'm I want another house plant. There is this nursery or plant store that I went to in Athens, Georgia that I really, really like. And Athens just is an hour away from Atlanta,
yeah,
so it hasn't been on my list of things to do. But one of these days, I'm gonna get back up there and buy me another plant because my uncle gave me money, uh, 2 birthdays ago, I think it was, and that's what I did. Maybe it was 3 birthdays ago, and that's what I bought. So now my plant kind of reminds me of him because
mm-hmm.
he gave me the money to buy the plant for my birthday.
Yeah.
So I think it's time to get something else. We just don't have enough accessible windows for me to have the houseplant collection that I would like. And also, my son terrorizes my plants. So maybe I gotta wait for him to move out. I don't know. I just don't know. It's just a
Okay.
small foliage plant, but she's still alive after 6 weeks. I'm on my way. You doing it? I have plans to get the fall garden started at Lily's school as well next month. So I'm actively going to start working through. I'm gonna start working through recording the videos for starting a fall garden since I was trash with the spring garden. So we're gonna get that together as well. The ZZ plant is a good low maintenance one. It is. I agree. I want a snake plant to go in our bedroom, but I gotta figure that out too because I don't know where it's gonna go.
Are you done?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
you talk about one thing for 65 seconds, and Tommy's like, "I'm trying to." Yeah.
Go on
No,
and get
I'm
us out
done.
of here.
Go ahead.
Okay, all right then. With that being said, guys, we out. Y'all have a great weekend. We love you guys. Peace.
Bye, y'all.
Hit the button.